When I was pregnant, I'll have cravings here and there. Oh, I'm craving this, I'm craving that. Bro, postpartum, I was turning a bar by 2 a.m. I say, hey, if I don't eat, I would die.
This is for us moms, a safe space for young women to have real and honest conversations about motherhood. A space for you to feel heard, seen, and understood. And if you're listening, you're absolutely welcome.
So today we're going to be talking about something I think is absolutely important, and we need to have these conversations more. Yes, gone are the days when we need to code or not talk about these things so that we won't scare the next generation. I think it's quite unwise. So today's video is about postpartum, and trust me, I have a lot to say. These are postpartum symptoms that I was not ready for. Number one is how emotionally fragile you actually feel. I'm telling you that there's probably nothing that can describe how you feel postpartum, because nothing will be accurate enough. So some people are in survival mode after they have their kids until they're able to be in the presence of like loved ones or people who can like take the burden off of them, and then they just completely spiral. So for example, you have your baby abroad, you have no choice but to be present for that child. But once you get into like your home country and then you have your mom, your siblings, or people around you, then you just have the opportunity to crash out. But I'm telling you that regardless, you are very emotionally fragile after you have a child. Things that you normally wouldn't care about, all of a sudden they feel very heavy, very deep. You know, it's really crazy. And this happens for months after you've given birth. You just are in a very fragile state emotionally and mentally as well. So if you catch yourself crying and it feels like you're crying over nothing, don't worry, you're not being dramatic. Your body is literally just trying to regulate. And also, you've just gone through something so traumatic, which is labor and delivery. Except you're going for an elective CS, even at that, you're still going to have to heal. Your body has gone through trauma. It's still trauma. So you've just gone through something that is traumatic. So give yourself some grace. If you find yourself crying, and if you find yourself in just such an emotionally scattered place, for lack of a better word, don't worry, you're not, there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. It's part of life, and it's part of the whole postpartum period. One thing I'll tell you though is that it would not last forever. So whenever you feel your emotions, if you feel angry or whatever, cry when you feel like crying, scream when you feel like screaming, take a walk when you feel like taking a walk. I'm telling you, you're not being dramatic at all. You're not even doing enough. You're never doing enough when it comes to dramatics. Okay, second thing I didn't expect postpartum was so I had a C-section, right? I thought I was going to be in so much pain. This was my first surgery ever in my life. I'd never been in the operating room ever. So I thought that I was going to have the worst, most dramatic pain. I was barely in any pain. I was sore though. I was really, really sore, but I was not in pain. I wouldn't say I was in pain. I just couldn't like move like I used to. I had to be a lot more gentle with myself. But yeah, no, I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that at all. I didn't even expect this soreness. I was sore. Like, it kind of feels like, you know, when you go to the gym and you haven't worked out in a while, you know that feeling you have in your thighs and your like, this your back, yeah, and then your tummy, like when you work out your abs, you know, stuff like that, you will be sore. But I wasn't in pain. Maybe some people have different experiences, but like, no, pain wasn't it for me. It was just soreness, and that was quite surprising because I was really scared. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be in so much pain afterwards. But yeah, and then my healing was really fast as well. I was working in 24 hours. My scar is barely visible. I don't think you can actually see it except you're looking for it. So it was really neat job. I was that was something about postpartum that actually really, really surprised me. But then again, recovery is not one size fits all. But for me, it was good, and I pray it's good for you as well. The third thing I did not expect, or the third thing that happened to me postpartum, is you might not really like your body afterwards, but you're going to grow a deep appreciation for your body. It's like you just kind of are in awe of like the strength that you actually have, especially when you're in that labor room and you are fighting to get your child out, and your body it feels like it's like being ripped apart, and the pain is just like it's just an experience. When you go through that and you have the child, there's nothing like it. You it's almost like if your body was a person, you would rain praises on your body, because it is crazy. There's nothing like carrying a child for 9 months, going into labor, giving birth to that child, and coming back out. It's such a spiritual experience. I think it's even more spiritual than it is physical, and it is such an achievement. So yeah, you're going to have an appreciation for your body that even you don't understand. You might be critical of your body because, oh, it's not, my stomach is not flat again, oh, this and that and that. But like, there is an appreciation that comes for you. But it might not come immediately. You might not feel it immediately at all. But like, when time goes, by, when you maybe like it might take you a few months, but when that realization hits you of everything that your body just went through, you start to appreciate it so much more. The flabby areas here, the parts that are not so tight, you just fall in love with your body again. And that's one thing about postpartum that I did not expect, and I actually really like. But the fourth thing about postpartum that I did not expect is how much help you actually need. Oh my god, you need help for everything, you guys. Everything. You need help emotionally, you need help mentally, you need help physically. You guys, when I had my C-section, I needed someone to shower me. Oh, that's such a vulnerable period of your life, I'm telling you. But let me tell you something, it just lasts for a little bit, okay? You're going to need help mentally as well. I shared in my video about being a young mom, about how the day I was crashing out and my friends came through and they just stayed with me. We chilled, we laughed, we just discussed about things, and it was such a good day for me. That was help that I needed. That was like mental help. So you're going to need help a lot during postpartum, and you have to be open and ready to accept. You also have to be able to open your mouth and ask for help, because if you're not asking, people are not going to know. And it doesn't make you a weak person. It doesn't mean that you don't have control over yourself. It just means that you're a human being who needs help. Okay, the next thing I want to tell you, and you should really listen to me about postpartum, is how quickly you can get pregnant. I'm sure you know many people who have like 11 months between their first and their second child. I'm telling you, see, I was one of the lucky few that kind of got my period later. And apart from that, I was very, very careful because my labor and delivery absolutely traumatized me. And I was like, I'm never doing this again. This is not for me, okay? This is a one and done kind of situation. Although now I've changed my mind, whatever. But I was so done. So I was very careful. There was not like, no. But you can get pregnant very quickly after having a child. There was somebody that I was pregnant with who had a second child. Like, she was pregnant almost immediately afterwards, and I was like, Jesus Christ. And she was like, oh my god, like I wasn't expecting this. I didn't think, they said while you're breastfeeding you wouldn't get pregnant. Lies, you can get pregnant when you're breastfeeding. So if you don't want to have a child like back to back, or if you don't want to have your children back to back, use protection. I'm telling you, don't let anything slide. Oh my god, the next thing I was not prepared for postpartum is the hunger. Hey, you guys, the hunger is insane. I breastfed Zimzo for 1 year after I had him, and I was exclusive for I think about I don't remember how long I was exclusive for. And you guys, when I was pregnant, I'll have cravings here and there. Oh, I'm craving this, I'm craving that. Bro, postpartum, I was turning a bar by 2 a.m. I say, hey, if I don't eat, I would die. And every time after I would breastfeed him, I would feel like all of my energy was just completely drained. Especially the older he got. Like, I think at 4 months, he would eat like, I can't remember how many times a day, but he was eating a lot. And it was taking so much from me. So as he's eating, immediately I'm done breastfeeding him, I'm always going to get something to eat, because the hunger blankets to you. It is crazy. But like, that was something I didn't expect. And I don't think I really heard anybody talk about like hunger, postpartum hunger. It is something else. And you know what's crazy? I didn't really add as much weight while I was pregnant. I think my weight just fluctuated a bit. Bro, when I was breastfeeding, I added so much weight, I could not recognize myself. Like, I would just wear boo-boos everywhere because nothing fit. Like, something that fit this week was not fitting next week. It was just a disaster. But like, when you stop breastfeeding, it goes away. This whole motherhood, pregnancy, postpartum thing is just a funny journey. And if you haven't experienced it before, it's easy to be hard on yourself. But yeah, when you're done breastfeeding, you lose the weight, especially because you're not going to be eating as much. You're going to be running after a child. At this point, they're a toddler, you're running up and down, and then they just help you lose the weight they help to gain anyways. So if you're in that breastfeeding period, don't be hard on yourself. If you add weight, it's fine. You can lose it. Okay, don't stress yourself about that. The next thing I did not expect, and I don't even know why I didn't expect this, is how big your boobs become. Hey, I have never been. What was I? I think I went to a G. I have never been a G in my life. I said as my biggest, I was like a double D. Bro, when I was breastfeeding, hey, almost every bra I bought was not myself. Like, I was buying bras like, bro, I was like, what? How? Like, my boobs were like, I don't even know. And I had veins on my breast. Like, it was insane. I did not, like, I mean, of course I expected them to grow bigger, but like this big, I was like, what? Like, what's the situation? And let me tell you, you don't completely go back to where you were before. No, I was a double D before. I'm still not a double D yet, but I'm not a G, sha. I'm not a G, but I'm not a double D yet, which is crazy. And so, yeah, that's something you should prepare for. If you are small boobed and you hope like one day you have big boobs, when you're breastfeeding, sorry, I shouldn't have done that. When you're breastfeeding and when you have a child or when you're pregnant, you are going to have breastises. Okay, and you need to be prepared for that. Like buy like 2-3 sizes above your actual size, because it's going to be real. Okay, it's going to be real. Then the next thing I wish I knew postpartum was that your milk doesn't immediately flow. So after I gave birth to Zimzo, they would take me to the NICU, because he was in NICU for a while. So they would take me to the NICU for him to latch, and like I just wasn't like producing milk like that. So he had to be on formula for like the first 2 weeks of his life, while like we were waiting for my milk to come in. And I took like cookies, oats, milk, drank water. But one thing I'll say is water. Water really, really helps a lot. So you might want to start drinking a lot of water before your baby is born, so that your body can generate milk faster. But for some people, it just doesn't really happen like that. Meanwhile, some other people are overproducers. Once they pump, they are pumping jugs of milk, which is crazy. But it doesn't happen that way for everyone. It's just a different journey, honestly, for everyone individually. So yeah, if you're not producing milk immediately, don't even stress yourself. It'll come. It'll come. And if it doesn't come, thank God for formula. Thank God for other moms who overproduce and they send breast milk to other moms to, feed their children. So yeah, that was unexpected. I kind of thought that when you have a baby, your milk just comes. So yeah, that concludes this video. Those are a few things postpartum that I didn't expect. There are so many more. If you want a part, so let me know in the comments. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It kind of encourages me a lot when I come and I see many likes, or when I'm getting like email notifications, oh, this person liked your video, that person liked your video. So if you like to encourage me, give me a thumbs up, okay? And also subscribe to my channel. Plus share this video with a mom who is either postpartum or pregnant, because she's going to need to see it. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Love you. Bye.